So last week we talked about how celebrating success can be a great thing for your career. But today we're going to talk about when that celebration is too excessive, how it can hurt you, your career, and everyone around you. It's important that you listen to these 3 tips that you should stay away from so that you can have success in your career. I'm Dr. J.
And I am Dr. C.
And we are a Two Doc Minds.
Thank you for joining us again today. As you heard, this is the second series and what we're discussing about what you should and should not be celebrating when it comes to your achievements and your success. And last week last episode, we talked about 3 reasons why you should celebrate your success and why you should take inventory of what you've done right. Now we're looking at maybe how you should not do things, how you should take inventory of what you should not do when it comes to your career achievements and career success.
Yeah, and we're not saying so much that you should not do it. What we're saying is do not do it excessively.
Excessively, yeah.
Because that excessive celebration or excessive acknowledgement sometimes can be a turnoff for you, your career, and everyone around you. And it could cause more harm than good.
Yeah, it could have some negative repercussions,
Absolutely.
Not only to your own career, but to the careers that you're impacting around you in organizations. Because again, everybody is watching. Everybody is looking at you to see what you're doing, your next move. How are you doing your job? How well you're doing your job, and how not well you're doing your job, if you will. So go ahead.
Yeah, and as you keep on growing, right, you're going to have people that's going to celebrate you. And the higher you get, the more haters you're going to get.
Yeah,
right?
You do have haters.
So you have to understand that there are haters lurking. People that are not happy for you lurking.
Waiting for you to fail.
Or helping you to fail.
Yeah.
And you have to really watch out for that. And so in this video, number 1, we're going to shake them haters off. But more importantly, how to reduce the haters by being able to share that success or not excessively being successful.
Exactly.
So if you are interested in this content, and if you liked our last video talking about some of our successes, I want you to continue to subscribe, hit that like button. We're going to run them up to 1,000. So hit that like button.
Yes.
And then, but more importantly, again, hit the notification bell because you're going to get
more content
right when it drops.
Right. So let's get into it. So again, we're talking about things that impact your career, impact you, how you do your job, and some things that you can look at to help you decide which way to go in your career. We're talking today about 3 ideas around how you should not celebrate excessive celebration of your career success.
So for example, somebody they get a promotion. They want the lunchtime noon meeting.
Right.
They want the breakfast. They want the afternoon happy hour.
The big shebang.
They want a party. Then they want the email confirmation.
Right.
And they want this and they want that just to say, hey, I got it, you didn't. And sometimes, when you're doing that, you got to understand, sometimes you're competing around the people that you work with.
Yes.
And, they're already frustrated that they weren't selected.
Right.
But you rubbing it in.
Right.
It's just going to cause some haters to lurk, right?
Yeah.
So you just got to be careful. So what is the first thing? One of the first reasons why
you should not excessively celebrate certain wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, some wins you can really just go all out and say, I did it, and that was our last video.
Yep.
But this video, humility is a big part of being a leader, if nothing else. Humility shows others how you can exhibit a little bit of, appreciation for the work that you're doing and the ones that are around you doing the work.
Yeah. And that's critical. I mean, back in the day in the playground, we were young kids, adolescents. Sometimes you saw a kid, they'll win a prize, they'll run up and get their prize and they say, I got it, right? You didn't, right? I'm special, you're not, right? And, it turns people off.
Right.
It's adults that still do that, right? In their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that get a promotion and have that same type of celebration.
Right.
And when you don't have your humility,
right,
it turns people off. Why not just be thankful that you got the celebration?
Yeah.
People will give you your kudos. Email probably will go out celebrating that promotion.
Right.
But instead of saying it's about me, and congratulations to me and patting myself on the back.
Yeah.
It could be a great sign where you can just say, hey, I want to thank for my team, because without my team,
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do this.
Very important.
As that thank goes to me, I want to give that to my team because they were critical in that success. And I want to make sure that they have the same opportunities that
Yes.
I get as I continue to move forward. So
I think also to add to that point is that sometimes the people that are following you, sometimes your peers, your colleagues, your superiors will look at you. If you see this time, I can either excessively celebrate or I can humbly just step back and say thank you, and you have some class about it and say, I'm going to quietly accept this great accomplishment. People will look that are around you, they will look at you differently. They probably look at you and revere you more because of the way you handled it so much with class, instead of saying, oh, I did it and I beat you out. This would be a time for you to show a little bit, humility, like we said.
And the reason why too that's important before we get to our next point is because people are going to know you did well. You got the promotion.
Yes.
Right? Enough said. You got the salary, right? You got the parking lot next to the front door.
You won.
You won. There's no more celebration. You got it. It's like a person. I always think about somebody in the NBA and they get $100 million contract.
Right.
There's no need to floss like you're rich or celebrate you got a contract. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
They saw that you made $100 million.
Yeah.
No more is needed. You don't have to flash yourself. You don't have to brag. They know.
Yeah.
So if you stay humble,
Right.
then it'll take you a lot farther because they know. So you don't have to let them know. All you have to do is let them know that they can do it too.
So the next one that we recommend that you take a look at when you're looking at to achieve your career goals, your development, whatever milestone you're hitting, is to not use excessive celebration and in effect having it lead to you just being satisfied with your career and being complacent, meaning that you're just happy where you are because you think you reached your goals.
Yeah.
You think you have nowhere else to go. So you've become satisfied in where you are in your career. So avoiding this will allow you to say, I can keep working harder. But if you become complacent, then you start to slip up on the things that you normally do to achieve your goals and to achieve that type of success that you're looking for.
Yeah, so don't be oversatisfied. We talked about humility, right? But we also talked about right now complacency,
Yes.
right? And so even though you are humble, doesn't mean you can't have a vision, goals, a drive, a passion to be the best that you can be at the organization.
Right.
And so it's critical that you continue to not be satisfied. I got the job, cool, I'm done. Right. If that's where you want to be and you met your plateau, then by golly, be happy and satisfied with meeting that milestone and getting to the goal that you set forward. But if you're not and you still want to push forward, don't use that first step forward or to that next level to be somewhere where you sit on that rock and you be satisfied. Again, set goals.
Continue to push forward.
Develop
And continue to keep that motivation high.
Yes.
Yeah. And because that's what keeps the engine going.
Yeah.
That's what keeps you moving forward, is if you don't ever become satisfied with where you are and you know that there's always some other thing that you can do to be better.
That's how you increase your income. That's how you increase your business income.
Yes.
That's how you develop, great things in your personal life.
Right.
This strategy is not just a strategy for a job or a business. It's a strategy for life. Yep. So
I
make
agree.
sure that if you're not happy where you're at, just stop being satisfied with
That's big.
being happy.
Right.
Be upset, be uncomfortable, and go and get what it is that you want.
Yes, the pursuit of happiness. So the last one that we will be talking about is if you excessively celebrate your wins, you can have a misjudgment of the moment, a misjudgment of how important it is to not celebrate something in the wrong time, in the wrong place.
Yeah.
If you take your achievements for granted and don't take it for what it is and celebrate the minor successes and celebrate the things that really don't have meaning, you'll avoid the whole reason why you become successful in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, misunderstanding or misjudging the moment is critical.
Right.
Right. So if you have a small milestone, sometimes a grand celebration is not needed.
It's not the time.
It's not the time to celebrate someone else.
Right.
With that moment, because everyone works in a team. right? And I would say most people work in a team. It is some individual work out there.
Yes.
But there's always something that you can do where you can celebrate others, or, understand how you manage the celebration of yourself.
Right.
But when you misjudge the importance and you have something that's small and you have this huge celebration, it can get irritating.
It can.
So you just want to just
It's distracting.
It is. Mm-hmm. I showed up to work all week and now I want a big party.
Right.
And I want balloons, right? That's a little bit too much, right? And so you may want to celebrate that after 2 years of doing it, right? But just again, understanding the moment, understanding the environment, understanding the people, understanding the politics, understanding the circumstances, and then understanding how to celebrate, because it's not always about you.
Yeah, I think when the veterans who know how to do it, who have been in the game, who have UC and the organizations that have done the work for 30 or 40 years, when they walk out the door, you haven't heard anything from them. You haven't seen them over celebrate. You haven't seen them not recognize their teammates. You haven't seen them do those things. Yeah. And then when they finally handed their time and their journey with that organization, they walk out of the door, they probably just like, thank you, and I enjoyed my time here, and drop the mic, and they ended it quietly with class.
And I had a situation where we did a project and we received a national award at the national level at this huge conference. We received this award, and you would think that I, as a leader of the organization, would show up and receive that award and say a nice, good speech and acknowledge. But I flew cross country 5 of the main team members of that project.
Right.
I didn't even show up myself. I'm the team lead that did the day-to-day grind of that work, the project manager. That was a few levels down from the org chart. Got a chance to not only receive the award, but talk on behalf of our organization and myself and our team. Right. And they were able to even develop a stronger team. But more important, instead of me celebrating that moment, they did. And I got the celebration and kudos because it's on your resume. There's other ways that you get celebrated. But that moment was not for me, and I recognize that, right? I didn't misjudge the moment.
Right.
I judged it right. I gave them a chance to receive the kudos, and that went a long way. The next project, they doubled down on that effort.
They worked harder.
And they worked harder because they were acknowledged.
Yeah, I like that example because I've had instances where we were working on projects. I think you were on that project in college. And, you're going and you're pressing away and you're collecting your data and you're trying to put together your project. And I had one project member that did nothing the whole time. But that wasn't my moment once we completed the project to celebrate the fact that we got it done. We did well. We got a great grade on it. But I had to not acknowledge that and just live in the moment and say the work is done and not celebrate or excessively celebrate that the fact that we got through it and I did most of the work. No, it was time to say we got it done and we did a good job.
And we're going to the next level.
And we're going to the next level and just keep pushing forward sometimes.
And sometimes you just swallow that and understand that's just part of the game. So these were 3 critical tips that you should be careful of. And I think judge right, if I can say. And when things are going bad or good, that you judge the moment properly.
Right.
And that you celebrate properly. And that you acknowledge yourself and your team properly.
Yeah.
And that's a judgment call. You have to understand it. You have to feel it. And when you do, you can go very far in your career.
Right. I
so
agree.
if you like this content,
if you like this content, like, comment, subscribe to our channel, click that notification bell, check in on our channel all the time on our social media platforms. Make sure that you're looking at our videos all the way through. We appreciate your support here at our channel. Again, we'd like to support professionals like ourselves, give you tools and techniques that will help your journey a little bit easier to your career.
So I'm Dr. J.
I'm Dr. C.
And thank you for watching 2 Doc Minds.